Understand you have a right to remain silent. That means that you don't have to testify if you don't want to testify.
This is the first I'm hearing about it, but okay.
That's the part of.
Court is calling 2024 CR 5811, State of Texas versus Priscilla Para. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state
Andrew Edmund.
defense?
James Seeloff for the defendant.
Are you Ms. Para?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, I have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Para, did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Not exactly, but
Well, no, I want to make sure you,
It's in your hand. Yes,
all right, I want to make sure you understand it. Is this document?
yes.
yeah, I understand it's paper with words on it, but I don't understand what the words mean on the paper exactly.
All right,
She doesn't understand what an indictment is, but she knows what she's pleading to.
all right. So instead of using the word indictment, do you understand what charges the state has brought against you?
Yes,
Okay. And did you review those charges with your attorney?
yes, ma'am.
All right. Sometimes I forget, we can't use legal words. We shouldn't.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, there's no need for you to apologize. You wouldn't know indictment or these other words unless maybe you were an attorney. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So that's my fault for not speaking in layman's term.
Thank you.
All right. Did you review this document? It tells you what you're charged with and your rights. Did you review that with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So do you understand your charge? I'm sorry, counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Waive the reading.
And state, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. All right. So do you understand you're charged with tampering with evidence?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow that plea. If for any reason I don't follow the plea that you've reached with the state and I give you more than what you agreed to, you can withdraw your plea. You understand?
Okay.
All right. Do you understand though?
Yes.
All right. Do you understand you have a right to jury trial?
Yes.
You have a right for you or your attorney to question any witnesses the state would call. Do you understand?
Okay. Thank you.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right. If there's something you don't understand, you need to let me know.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Did you understand you have a right to remain silent? That means that you don't have to testify if you don't want to testify.
This is the first I'm hearing about it, but okay.
That's the part I told you. You could go to sleep during your trial and she couldn't even ask you a question that you'd have to respond to. Right to remain silent. You're gonna waive that so you could say whatever in front of the judge. You
Oh,
understand now?
okay.
Remember? Yes?
All right. Thank
Yes?
you. Yes.
All right. So let me explain it to you. So you're charged with tampering of evidence. If you were to go to trial, what would happen is there would be 12 jurors sitting over here. And those 12 people sitting over there would listen to whatever evidence the state would bring. So if the state were to call a witness, let's say they were to call someone named John. They would call John. The state would ask them questions. Your attorney, if he wanted to, could ask them questions. Do you understand?
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
All right. Now, after the state had presented and all of their evidence or called everybody that they wanted to call for me to hear from, or from the people in the box to hear from, then what would end up happening is if you wanted to be called to have the state and your counsel ask questions of you, you could. But if you decided, no, I don't want to be called and I don't want to answer any questions, then you don't have to. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Did you understand that those were your rights? Right. And did you understand because you're entering this plea bargain agreement that you're giving up those rights?
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
You have to say yes instead of okay. You understand?
Not really, but okay.
All right. So here's the thing. I really don't, is she competent?
She was until you started asking her some questions.
All right, so I don't feel comfortable continuing with this plea. If you want to talk to her some more and explain to her, and if she understands, then I will go forward, okay?
Okay.
Have you ever been diagnosed with any mental health issues?
I have PTSD,
All right, anything else?
anxiety and depression.
All right, anything else? Were those the only diagnosis you had?
That's it that I know about.
All right, have you ever seen a psychiatrist?
Yes, many times.
Okay, all right, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have a step back because I'm gonna make sure that you know everything that you're agreeing to before you agree to it. And I'm gonna have your attorney speak to you some more so we can find out, all right?
Okay,
All right, thank you so much.
thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we're back on the record in 2024 CR 5811, State of Texas versus Priscilla Para.
Ready, Your Honor?
All right, all right, Ms. Para.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if there's anything that you don't understand or you have a confusion about something, let me know. And there's no need to have any fear of letting me know that you don't understand something. You understand?
Yes.
So where we left off, do you understand that if you want a jury trial, which would mean there would be 12 people sitting, hearing all of the evidence or witnesses' testimony, do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you want a jury trial?
No, ma'am.
All right. Do you understand the rights that I've talked to you about?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you understand that by entering this plea bargain agreement, you are giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
All right. Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your probation were revoked, then the court could sentence you up to 10 years in prison?
Yes, I understand.
All right. Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, she has, and we're pleading nolo contendere, Your Honor.
All right. Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I believe she does, and she has assisted me.
All right. Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe she was.
All right. Ms. Parra, has anyone threatened you or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the bargain that you have with the state?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, according to that, there's a $1,500 fine. The state is asking that I grant your application for deferred adjudication. They're taking in consideration County Court Cause number 734347. There's going to be restitution, money you have to pay for any damages, and 734347 to the Bear County Sheriff's Office. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, defense, is that the agreement?
That's our agreement. We're pleading nolo contendere, and I explained to her that $750 restitution, if she has it and she's working within those 2 years, she has to pay it.
All right, state, is that the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney?
That's the one where if she
The one where I signed it
sends,
twice?
yes, you signed it twice. There
Okay,
you go.
yes, ma'am.
All right. Did you understand by signing that, you will not be able to appeal this case unless there have been pretrial motions that your attorney has filed or you have filed, and that I've heard those and made a decision about those. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Have there been any such
There has
motion?
been no motions filed, Your Honor.
All right, outside the agreement, the state is asking that you be placed on 2 years deferred adjudication, and there be 120 hours of community service restitution, which is volunteer work, and that there be a TAP evaluation, and that's to see if you have any drug issues. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so that's what they're recommending. I don't have to do that. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offense as charged, what plea are you entering?
No contest.
All right. State, do you have any evidence to support her plea?
Contained in Exhibit 1 and attachments, Your Honor.
No objection, Your Honor.
Did you review this document?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and state, you may be excused.
Your Honor.
And did you understand that that document has police reports, so instead of calling witnesses, the state is just giving me things that they've said, and it's in this document. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you understand that you can make the state and tell the state, hey, I want you to bring somebody in, a witness or a person, to say what happened. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, but because you're entering this plea bargain agreement, they're not gonna bring that person. Do you understand?
Okay, thanks. Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Sorry. Yes,
All
ma'am.
right, no problem. Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, what is the charge in clause number 73434?
The county court case,
Yes.
that's malicious mischief, breaking squad car light.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't have that in this police report.
Right, that's what we're gonna take into consideration, but
All right.
I'm gonna run to county court 5.
All right. Court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court is not going to find you guilty. The court will defer that because you've applied for deferred adjudication. I'm going to place you on deferred adjudication.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Do you have any children?
Yes,
What are their ages?
5, 8, and 11.
All right. And who are they residing with? Where are they living?
I gave them up for adoption.
Okay.
I have requested that she apply for Haven for Hope, and I'm also need to tell the probation department to make sure that they write down the address and the directions to any meetings for probation. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you will then report every time. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. This is what the court will do. There is to be a $1,500 fine. The court will probate that.
Thank you.
Take in consideration 7343447. There's to be restitution in 73437 to the Bear County Sheriff's Office. 3 years deferred adjudication. I want a referral to felony drug court. That's to be in custody. They do have a dual diagnosis program, so they'll be able to help her with housing and
Okay,
everything else. I don't want her released and she's homeless and she has no place to go.
you understand? You're
Okay.
gonna be working with another government entity, drug unit, to find you a place to live.
Okay.
There's going to be proof of employment. There's to be proof of employment or SSI within 45 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. And probation is, yes?
I'm sorry.
Okay, if she's not accepted into felony drug court, we'll do a TAP evaluation in custody and follow TAP recommendations.
Thank you.
And there should be no unsupervised contact with minors. Probation, I'm unsure about the 120 hours of community service restitution. I don't know if she's able to do that. If for some reason she's unable to do that due to mental health, just let the court know. So there'll be 120 hours of community supervision. There's to be a MIC evaluation, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, and regular random UAs. And I'm gonna want field visits 1 time per month until she has a case manager or is in felony drug court. And if for some reason felony drug court doesn't accept her, or if MIC says that she's not eligible for the program, then I'm gonna want a referral for her to the Center for Healthcare Services. Probation, is there anything else she needs? All right, is there anything else you need with help from the court?
Not that I could think of at the second.
I'm sorry?
Not that I could think of at the second.
All right. Did you review this document with your attorney?
Yes.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. If you need anything or you feel there's no one to talk to, you can always come back to the court, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Thank you, counsel. All right, who's here on Christopher Miller? Court is calling 2024 CR 6101W, State of Texas versus Christopher James Miller. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
defense?
Brittany Sparks for Christopher Miller.
All right, you entered a plea of no contest on May 16th, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
And have both parties had a chance to review the PSI?
Yes, sir.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Right. According to the plea bargaining agreement, state recommends deferred adjudication. This is the run concurrent with 2020 CR 1185C. There's to be a drug court evaluation. If not accepted, then the follow the TAP recommendations. Excuse me, do you have 2020 CR 1185C? All right, is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Judge, he is, although it says otherwise in his PSI, Your Honor, he is willing to do drug court. He did qualify, he was accepted, but they had to give his spot away, is my understanding, because the sentencing was too far out.
Mhm.
I've asked probation if there is a spot available. They said not right now. But I think they have graduation coming up and maybe a spot will be open soon. That is what he would like to do if the court will allow him to.
Okay. All right, anything from the state?
No, Your Honor, except that I think the other case, it's an MTR. I think both parties intend to sort of let that MTR expire, because it would be on the first time. Yes.
Okay. All right, does anyone wish to speak to length of probation?
Your Honor, our agreement with the state was for 5 years. That is what my client accepted, so.
All right, that's outside the agreement.
Oh, yes, Judge. I mean, as far as the length, I mean, that's what we would be asking for is for 5 years, but we understand that it's your decision.
Okay. It's the 2020 CR 1185C. All right. I see the nature of that offense. And what was the length of probation on that offense? Was it 4 years?
Sure, I think that,
All right. All right, the court is going to sentence you to 6 years deferred adjudication. Take in consideration night mag number 746576. There's to be referral to felony drug court. He's to remain in custody until transfer to felony drug court. Counsel, if you reach out to felony drug court, you can see when they can accept him. If for some reason they don't have any room for him in the foreseeable future, just let the court know and the court will consider a different placement. But for now, he's to remain in custody until accepted into felony drug court. There's to be proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular random UAs. There's to be 200 hours of community service restitution. The court will not waive any of those hours. You're going to have to do those hours. You understand? Oh, thank you. And it says in here that the guilt was minimized. Why is it saying that?
I'm not sure, Your Honor. In the.
In the
statute?
PSI, yes. It says that he minimized guilt.
Yes, Judge, there was, the night mag case was a possession charge. Mr. Miller and I have spoken at length, because he had a difficult time accepting responsibility for the possession charge. We have spoken about him accepting the responsibility for this tampering with evidence. So I think since he has spoken to them, Judge, he has come to the realization of where we are with this case.
And what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life?
I mean, I've worked out there. I mean, I continue to have jobs and I mean. I just need a steady balance. That's why I want to get into the felony drug court.
Do you have any children?
I do have a daughter.
And what's her age?
She just turned 10. I just missed her birthday because of all this.
Okay. I'm sorry, Mr. What?
I missed her birthday because of all this.
All right. Well, I mean, you missed her birthday for your own actions.
Right.
All right, there's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. I'm gonna order parenting classes. There's to be field visits. One time per month until further notice. And probation, if for some reason he is not accepted into felony drug. Yeah, if for some reason with regards to felony drug court, he's gonna remain in custody until they accept him. So he's to remain there. If it's taking a long time, then probation, you can let me know, or his counsel can let me know, and then I'll decide to do something else. But he's not to be released until he's in felony drug court.
Okay, finish it.
All right. And probation, is there anything else he needs?
No, Your Honor.
All right, is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? No. All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, everyone, when we're on the record, excuse me, when we're on the record, there's a sign. Do y'all see that sign? All right, thank you. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you, and I hope those burns heal. What were you doing in the kitchen?
I was cooking
What were you cooking?
dinner.
I mean, what's the meal?
It was just oatmeal, honestly.
Yeah, I had a feeling, Bear County Jail, probably oatmeal.
I have a slight issue with that, though.
Mm-hmm.
Due to the burns and infection and getting health care and seeing a doctor and going to do that. I mean, I've been waiting to go and waiting for this PSI and waiting to get into drug court for the last 30 days. I know you said I have to do it in custody.
Yes,
I mean, even with monitor or anything like that, because I'm trying to
No.
go and
because here's the thing. You have a drug problem. You have a major drug problem. The fact that you're on probation, the state made an offer with you. Even though you're on probation for another case, they made an offer for probation on this case.
yes, ma'am.
So people always want the sun, the moon, the stars. And then when they're at the very beginning, when they're looking at prison time, it's always like, I'll do anything.
Well, I mean, it was just because I was already, it just because of the sentencing wise, I was already accepted in the drug court. I missed it.
Yeah. I mean, I could send you to prison and they'll give you, I think they have better medical care at the prison if you want.
It's not what I want.
Okay, all right, good luck to you.
Yes, ma'am.
It's calling 2022 CR 5352, State of Texas versus Paul Vasquez Jr. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state
Daniel Escobar from the state of Texas.
defense?
Todd Coronado for Mr. Paul Vasquez.
Are you Mr. Paul Vasquez?
I am.
Did you review the document with your attorney entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Paul Vasquez Jr. who's placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 5352 for the offense of felon in possession of a firearm on August 25th, 2022 for a term of 2 years and extended for a total of 1 year? Is that you?
That is correct.
All right, state.
Violated condition number 4 in Bear County, Texas, the defendant Paul Vasquez Jr. did then and there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the month of March 2024 in violation of conditions.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Your Honor, state waives all the violations.
Any objection?
No objections, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to 2 years in the prison?
Yes.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Yes.
Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, to extend the probation for 1 year and amend for Bear County ISF and to take into consideration the new NIMAG. And that's NIMAG 759661.
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that again?
Sure, 759-661.
All right, I'm not gonna follow this agreement. His previous motion to revoke was also for a number 4. And now he's back again for the same thing, not reporting. It appears that he doesn't want to be on probation. I mean, he had a motion to revoke for a violation of condition number 4, not reporting. That's why he was extended for 1 year. And it was, the results of it was finding number 4 true, denying the motion, alternate amending conditions to include ILP, extend for 1 year, referral to felony drug court in custody, and the UA hotline until further notice. And again, he's not reporting. And he doesn't appear to, I may be wrong, but he doesn't appear to be a 17-year-old or 18-year-old. When the court says report, I think he knows to report. That's the minimum.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah.
On my behalf,
You want to
I-
raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
so help me God.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Paul Vasquez Jr.
All right, what would you like to say?
On the probation, incident, I understand what I did fail on it and everything. On the community service, I've done community service, but it was under understanding of my probation officer and my mentor. I was doing community service, I meant to switch.
No, here's the thing. I want you to focus on the not reporting.
On the
Because
not
I
reporting.
require that people
Yes.
report. Are you saying if somebody at probation told you you didn't have to report, then that's a horse of a different color?
Right.
But if
right.
that's not what has happened, then we're back to your not
Right,
reporting.
that was my mistake. I was doing good and everything, and then I'm not gonna lie to you, I had some issues with girlfriend problems and whatever, and I know that shouldn't be anywhere, doing. with
We're
this,
always
but-
back to,
Yes, but.
we're always back to Eve and the apple
Right.
thing.
And,
Okay,
and I understand, but, in this incarceration, I finally was deceived by her and everything, like she lied to me a lot, whatever. I know it's none of the,
I mean, I
it has a lot to
understand.
do with it, but it don't. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I accept my faults and I learn from my mistakes. I'm 45 years old and I put myself in a Narcotics Anonymous while I'm in jail. I've gotten a certificate. I'm continuing my GED class while I'm incarcerated still. I'm doing something positive instead of negative when I'm.
All right, so here's my question.
Yes, ma'am.
Why does it take for people to be locked up in custody for them to decide, you know what, I'm gonna better my life, I'm gonna get my GED, I'm gonna do all these classes when you were given those chances before? I don't understand.
Well, and from my perspective, I was just blinded, everything just was like blinded. I had a lot of family problems also. That last time I spoke with you,
Mhm.
my stepfather was going through diabetes and getting his leg, amputated, his toes and whatnot.
Mhm.
And I was going through a lot of issues in that part, plus my girlfriend issues, so we can say,
What's your girlfriend, what?
my girlfriend, she like issues, personal issues with my girlfriend, but I do accept my faults and I'm learning from my mistakes and whatnot. I'm trying my best, to, I don't have a drug problem. I had no problem with, taking new age or whatever. I told that to my mentor and my probation officer. And I just wanted a better understanding on, I did have a bad drug problem when I was in my early 20s, 30s and lost my mother and, I straightened up. But, I'm not here to cry to you. I'm not here to make you change your mind or anything. I understand my faults and I'm just trying to change for my better.
I appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. And I want to let you know that I've internalized everything that you've said. And I understand that sometimes people fall off the beaten path and
Yes,
they're
ma'am.
trying to improve themselves.
Yes, ma'am.
But I mean, you still have plenty of time to be able to improve yourself, okay? All right, the court is going to find violation of condition number 4 true. The court is going to grant the motion, sentence you to 2 years in the prison, taking consideration 759-661. I'll request the therapeutic community. It doesn't increase the time that you the time you're at the prison, but it will help you with any other issues you may have. I can't force them to place you in the therapeutic community because I have no jurisdiction over the prison system. But you can ask for it and you'll see if they'll put it in there. There's going to be credit for any time served, $1,000 fine, time and running to run concurrent.
What do you mean by that, by all means, so what did you mean by that?
By what?
A therapeutic.
Yeah. what does
Oh,
that
the
mean?
therapeutic community, it's to help you if you have any drug or alcohol issues. And
Oh, 'cause
it
yeah.
doesn't increase the time that you're in custody. It's just a program to help you maintain your sobriety and be on track
Okay.
for when you're released.
Oh, yes, ma'am, yes.
But you still have to ask for it. I don't have any jurisdiction to force you into the program. You understand?
Yeah, that'd be a plus for me, right?
All right, awesome. Did you
Would I get
review?
my back time though?
Should that
Yes.
get you to- yeah.
Did you review the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes,
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and I'm sorry. This is not a plea bargain agreement. You do have a limited right to appeal, and that right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you're on probation. Do you understand?
yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. When you go to the prison, I don't know, they may end up paroling you from the Bear County Jail. I have no idea. I have no control over that. But whether you're released from the Bear County Jail or whether you're released from prison, the first thing you need to do is find a sober house to live in,
Yes.
to find an AA or NA group and work on yourself, because otherwise what's going to end up happening is you're going to be right back here, maybe with another felony case, and then who knows what court you may end up in. They may end up offering you time. You may end up going to trial and being found guilty and doing some serious prison time. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you, okay?
I plan to break the cycle.
All right, good. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Waive excuse.
Yes.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Oh, thank you. God bless you too. All right, we're gonna go back on the record in 2022 CR 8628, State of Texas versus Adam Aguilar. All right, the court has found violation of condition number 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Judge State's recommending 1 year in the state jail facility.
All right, and defense, what are you
We're
requesting?
asking for the minimum 6 months, state jail. He understands that, he's most likely, it's gonna be revoked, of course, and do some time, and he's hoping that he gets the minimum 6 months. Because he still hopes to finish school that he started, and he'd like to explain that to you if you can.
Sure. Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. State your name for the record.
Adam Edward Aguilar.
All right, what did you want to tell the court?
Well, I want to tell you that I know I messed up and it wasn't my intentions to do what I did. It really wasn't. But I have changed my life and I am going to school right now. I'm going to South Texas Vocational Texas Institute, STVT, on Military South Florida. I'm going for a career, a trade, to be an automotive service technician. You know, and I was hopefully today would be granted for the probation so I could finish with my classmate in December and I would have that certificate. You know, I have changed my life, and back then I didn't know what I wanted to do, but now I know. I was going through a bad relationship, breakup. You know what I told you about my ex. You even told me, you advised me that she wasn't a good woman, and I got to see that now. And she was holding me back. She wasn't holding me back. I was holding myself back for being with her. You know?
No, I don't think I ever tell anybody that somebody in a relationship is good or not good. My advice to people is whatever issues you have in your relationship, they're always going to be there until they're addressed. And sometimes we should not be in relationships until we work on ourselves, because if we're not healthy and whole, then the relationship, either we're going to be a person who is not good for the relationship, or either we're going to meet somebody who's in the same place as we are, and they are not whole or healthy.
Right, and that's how it kind of was, and it was holding me back, you know, from what I had to do, and I lost focus on what I needed to do.
All right. Did you turn into probation that the fact that you were working on a trade school?
No, I didn't get around to get the chance to do that.
Mm.
So that's why I'm kind of glad that this did kind of happen. This was an eye opener for me to show me that what I needed and focus on my life, that what I wanted to do and what I did do. And I got baptized a couple of months back too at the same time. I started walking a different route and doing different things, you know. And I know it might not mean much, but you know, on May 23rd passed the 5-year mark that my mom passed away. So, and then I lost my mom, I lost my dad, I lost two of my sisters. So it just, I've been going through a lot of emotions and, so it just, I didn't know how to deal with my emotions and things like that, so. I was thinking when they had the recommendation for the probation for the anger management, the behavior and all that, that would have been a great thing for me to do. Because it would have helped me put a structure in my life, I didn't have structure at first, but it's my structure now that what they have. But I know it's up to you for what you want to do, and I'm hoping to have a second chance of a redemption. As you may, and I know the penalty of everything. And I want to say, if you could give me one more chance, if you can find it in your heart, I want to get back out there to my family and show them different, and show you different, show everybody different, not just for y'all, but for myself. That I can do this, that I am a man, and I can change my ways. I am changing my ways. If you just give me a chance of that.
All right, so probation, was there any restitution in the 2022 CR 862B case number in 688678?
No, Judge.
All right. All right, so here's what I want you to understand. One, I've internalized everything that you've said, but the court's issue and the problem is the fact that you were here before me previously, and it was the same thing, not reporting. How old are you?
29.
All
I
right,
just turned
so
29.
it's not like you're a 17-year-old or 18-year-old. There are things that you need to do and you just need to do them.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And so even though you're going to the state jail facility, you can still work on yourself. Like if you love your mom, you looked up to your mom. If you love your sisters and you looked up to your sisters, if you're not going to do it for yourself, then do it for them to make them proud. You understand?
All right.
All right, the court is finding violation of condition number 4 true. The court is going to find you guilty, revoke you, sentence you to 1 year in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. There's to be no contact with Ray Curtis or Alicia Williams. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
All right, because this is not a plea bargain agreement. You do have a limited right to appeal, and that right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you're on deferred adjudication. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. You understand?
Yes.
All right, good luck to you, okay?
God bless.
Oh,
That's the
thank you. God
eternity.
bless you
Yes.
too. I appreciate it.
Always.
Thank you.
My big shoes.
Yes. Court is calling 2022 CR 8628, State of Texas versus Adam Edward Aguilar. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Defense,
Todd Coronado for Mr. Aguilar.
are you Mr. Aguilar?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Adam Edward Aguilar who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 8628 for the offense of unauthorized use of a vehicle on January 9th, 2023 for a period of 4 years? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state.
Violated condition number 4, on or about in Bear County, Texas, the defendant Adam Edward Aguilar did then and there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of July and August in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Your Honor, state waives all the violations.
Any objection?
No objections, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes, Judge, the proposed agreement is for weekly reporting until the defendant completes his anger management course, and then to add the cognitive behavioral course to his conditions.
All right,
This is our extended, Your Honor.
all right. I'm not going to follow this agreement. He was here before on June 22nd for the same thing, violation of condition number 4. And the court alternate conditions denied it. And that's what the parties agreed, that it be denied. And he did a TAP evaluation in custody. And there were supposed to be field visits, the UA hotline, and he was to provide his address to probation so they would know where he was. So I'm not following this agreement. He keeps not reporting. Obviously, he doesn't want to be on probation.
So doing, at the time, I didn't know what I wanted to do in my life. And at that
No,
time,
here's the thing. We've passed that point. You were here before for not reporting. The court denied the motion, alternate amend conditions for you to get your life in order to report. And now we're back here again for your not reporting. You don't want to be on probation. You don't want to report. You have not reported. I'm not following this agreement. So I don't have to follow the agreement because this is a contract with the court. And just the mere fact by your pleading true, that means that I could sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility. Not going to follow the agreement. If you all want to discuss more, you can. Okay, you're welcome. Who's here on Paul Vasquez? Is that you as well? All right, I'll wait for you if you want to discuss this first.
That's fine, thank you.
Sure. All right, Norma on Kuko. Let's recall it for, let me see. You want to recall it the week of July, recall it the week of July 8th? All right. All right, Mr. Kuko, is he out here?
No.
All right, Deputy Laura, would you let him know that his attorney is going to come back on July? You said July 11th, Norma?
Yes, ma'am, July 11th.
All right, can you let him know we're going to call him back on July 11th?
Yes.
All right, court is calling 2024 CR 0254, State of Texas versus Michael Anthony Perez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel S. Clark with the state of Texas.
Defense?
Raymond Martinez and Victoria Cruz for Mr. Pettis.
And are you Mr. Perez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're here for sentencing. You entered a plea of guilty to count one. I'm sorry, you entered a plea of no contest to count one, of no contest to count four. The court found there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court found you guilty of count one and count four. And the court found an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon. And we're here today for sentencing. Are both parties ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement and counts one and count four, you will be sentenced to 12 years. And it stated that if you did not appear for sentencing, then the full range of punishment would be open, but you appeared. The court will follow your agreement, and according to the law, I must run these two concurrently. So to count one, the court will sentence you to 12 years in the prison. This will run concurrent with count four, and the court will sentence you to 12 years in the prison. Court will give you credit for any time served. The court will find an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
No.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, sir.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. You understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, and this is what I try to tell people. Yes, some people can go to a restaurant, they drink a drink, everything is fine. But to be on the safe side, if you know you're going to drink, just don't drive. Get an Uber. Get somebody who is, the person who doesn't drink, which is me. And guess what? Usually when you do that, the person who doesn't drink is happy to drive everybody, because usually everybody gives that person a free meal because they're the sober driver. So good luck to you. My understanding is they have a victim impact.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, State, you may proceed.